Shane, Chris got us a hammer. So it's a 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 for tight end, start 10. Took over a terrible orphan team. Tore it down to the studs. Russ Dimes at quarterback, Komet, JSN, Downs, Wandale, and 0 running backs. And he asks, is this enough for the 101? He would receive the 104, 210, Deshaun Watson, and Tank Dell. What say you, Shane?
So I don't know if this is enough, but I'll say it's at least in the realm of possibility. It's at least in the ballpark. Go back to that offer real quick for me. So the 104 and Tank Dell, we're all about it. I mean,
and
you're getting
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, you're getting Watson too. I mean, would I like a stronger package? Sure. I mean, I'd like to trade the 101 for a 104 and a 25 first. But no, I like this package. If you're rebuilding, this is likely one of the better packages you'll get. I will say this. There's no reason to rush it right now. I'm thinking if you can get this deal now, you likely can get this deal in a month, 2 months. So let it breathe a little bit before you actually just sell it off. And another thing I would note is I'd be re-rolling on JSN just for funds. It just so happens some Roto World I was on with Theo last week. Or this week, I don't even know. Last week, definitely last week. And we were talking about JSN, and someone checked me on Twitter like, oh, you don't know JSN is going to be bad. So I just went for funds just to check every wide receiver that's had 8.8 fantasy points or fewer. And then I even added a half point to it. It's not a good list. It's like
not a good list.
No, there's like 6.54% of the players that you could even squint and say, yeah, they gave me a productive season. And I mean, like James Washington. I added James Washington as a hit.
Yeah. But if there's certain players you're going to take a bet on, I'll take some bets here and there on that. It's not QJ we're talking about. But yeah, I think it's decent. You're not going to have any liquidity in Deshaun Watson, but he does have a long leash, and you need quarterbacks on a rebuild. Tank Dell, you can flip him if you wanted to, split him, and then the 104, you can do all sorts of stuff. But you want to receive more assets than you're giving, like you're doing right here. It's a 4-for-1, man. So good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's close. It's definitely a conversation. There's something there.
Yeah, no, and like you said, if you don't believe in Tank Dell, just move him for another first.
Yeah, or just capitalize on his value now. It looks like he's a couple years away. So Joey got us a hammer. He says, hey guys, thank you very much. 10 teams start 12, 2 QB, 6 point per passing touchdown. Team is rebuilding with the 101 to the 101, 102, 105, 6, 9, 10. Also has half of the second round. Won't compete next year. He says trade Arich for Bryce, QJ, a mid 25 first and 25 second.
No. QJ is an absolute nothing. That adds absolutely nothing to this deal. I was just talking about JSN, who scored 8.8 fantasy points a game last year.
QJ a little worse.
A little worse. I think he was like 4 points a game, something like that. He was basically the definition of a trash can if you look it up in the dictionary. I'm not trading Arich for this. I mean, even if I'm not going to compete next year, I'm going to need a stronger package for this, and I'm not going to compete next year anyway. I can take the risk to see what Arich turns into and maybe cash out for more.
Yeah, this is one of those ones. It is a start 12, 2 QB. So I don't like trading hopefully an elite QB for still a question mark and then not having access to another QB until mid 25. So this isn't the type of trade I want to do. Open to trading Arich, but that's stuff for Arich.
And not for nothing, I know it's way too early to be talking about this, but the 25 class isn't, from what we know right now, isn't going to be built remotely like the 24 class.
Yeah, it's going to be built in the form of running backs, baby. Let's hammer some running backs like we thought we were going to do in 23. Okay, let's see here. So
QJ has someone.
Oh, excellent. I'm sure that's a good list. Someone, and I told him he could actually give us his name on the buy me a coffee, and he did, but I decided we're just going to keep going with someone. So someone bought us a hammer. Thank you very much. 12-team Superflex PPR full point tight end premium, so 2.0 for them. 6 point per passing touchdown, start 10. Burrow, Dak, Jacobs, and Cans. Amon-Ra, Waddle, DK, Jaden Reed, Christian Kirk, has the 107, 112, 203, and then the 207 through 210. He said, any moves y'all would make right now? I don't want to be too impatient because I feel like I'm in a good spot. Also, recently traded the 106 and 110 for Dak and the 112. Thoughts? So let's address that in a vacuum, that trade real quick here. 106 and 110 for Dak and the 112.
I mean, in vacuum, it's fine. You basically
I'm good
got
with it.
Zach.
Yeah.
You got Zach for the 106 and moving back two spots in the draft, not spaces.
Yeah.
So clearly you needed a quarterback because you didn't name anyone else. Yeah, you didn't name anyone else besides Burrow. He's got ARSB, Waddle, DK, Reed. I mean, we already know, can we kick the 112 to 2025 or maybe 2026, Clay? If we can't get a 2025, maybe we try to get the 20.
Yeah, we'll discuss that trade that Shane and I made before the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's how many starters? It start 10. I wouldn't mind another upgrade at wide receiver. Can I use Christian Kirk? Probably not. Can I use Jaden Reed and Waddle to tier up? Can I use DK and Jaden Reed to tier up? Can I use DK and a 107 to tier up? Something like that.
I don't think he even has enough in a start 10 to tier up yet. I don't think he can quite package together, because I was thinking to myself, like, man, how much would it cost to go up and get Bowers in a 2.0? And he doesn't have the firepower for that right now.
104. Yeah, he's going at 104.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I mean, I think just be flexible. Just be flexible. That was a good Dak trade. That's a good way to just kind of jockey around the board and get a good QB and a 6-point per passing touchdown, especially, and 4 last year. Shit, right? Okay, so we will hide that. Thank you very much. Scott is going to be coming on at what was 9:15 or something like that. We're doing some musical chairs. Yeah, Kentucky's
losing tonight. So. Yeah, they're losing tonight per usual. So he wants to watch Kentucky lose, and then he'll be around.
Yes, we already have 104, only 147 in here. People saw this menu. Oh, it is 7 minutes in. Yeah, but we're going over a bunch of Buy Me a Hammers. That's obviously the new hotness right now. Thank you so much for the donations. It's actually pretty kick-ass, and it's like, my editor, I can pay my editor now. But yeah, so thanks so much for the donations. Appreciate that. Really supports the channel. So let's go to Elliot. Speaking of supporting the channel, 4 hammers. Thank you very much. 12-team start 11, Superflex PPR, 0.75 tight end premium, 6-point per passing touchdown. Goff and Cans at QB, Cans at running back. Chase, Sun God, JSN, Reed, T, and Everett at tight end. 102, 5, 11, 12 in the 302. Says, see any moves? I took second to last year and think that this team has the pieces to make a move next year. Recently sent the 110 for T during the season, but at the time it looked like the 112. Inbox offer. Send Goff the 102, 105, 112, and Chase. Receive Hurts and Burrow. I know this is an overpay, but looking for advice on a counter. Okay, so just to go back to the format, 12-team start 11, 1.75 for tight ends. It's a, it's not a little boy league. So he's going to be giving up, where is it? Goff, the 102, 105, 112, and Chase for Hurts and Burrow. How do we clean this up, Shane? Should we just cross out? I mean, I think Burrow's worth more than the 105 or whatever. Let's just say he's around there. So chop them off, and then it's 102 and Chase for Hurts.
Yeah, that's too much. I like Hurts.
Yeah,
I love Hurts, but that's too much for Hurts. I mean, I'm not trading Jamar Chase, who goes over Hurts in some startups.
So what's the counter? Because he says looking for advice on a counter. He knows it's heavy. So
first of all, I'm taking out the 102. We can start from the 105, 112, and Goff. And what else did he throw in there? It was the 105, 112.
Well, he wasn't throwing stuff in because Burrow and Hurts were on the other side.
So if he wants to do 105, 112, Goff, and Chase, I'd be okay with getting Burrow and what's the other guy's name? Hurts. But the problem is this is a start 11. I don't know that I want to be giving up like 8 starters. And I'm not great with math, but there's like 1,000 starters that you're giving up right there.
Yeah, I never make a trade that's this big. I mean, like
It's probably let's
it's just
dial
when
it
you
back.
see something like this, unless you're the one receiving like a big time, you're receiving the overpay. Normally you can split it up and sell in different forms of like think the 102, 105, 112 and Chase, they got a lot of flexible pieces there. Obviously, Goff isn't worth anything, but yeah, man.
Well, I mean,
My counter would just be like tighten this up. You know, do you want Hurts? Because you're giving away Chase and you'd be receiving Burrow. So what do you want here?
screw Burrow. I mean, I'd send the 102 and the 112 for Jalen Hurts.
I like it.
I would try that. If he doesn't want to do that, well, okay, let's try the 105 and the 112 for Joe Burrow. Clearly, I have a preference over those players. I would try that. I'm not doing this giant deal. I can't get behind deals like this. I just can't do it. Because like you said, even if you split this up, that 102, I should be able to chop into a couple first if I wanted to. Chase by himself should be worth multiple first, at least 2 to 3. So you're talking about, I don't know, I'm great with 5 first right there.
It's too much. It's too much. Okay, let's go to. Thank you very much for those hammers. Appreciate that. Let's go to the crowd here. We've got a couple starred. Alex was first. He said the Chili Willy Nut Dust League wants to shame Supanyam for abandoning his team after trading most of the picks and losing in the finals to me. Look at that flex. We look forward to a new member. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get a hashtag for that because we're just going to give that out to this crowd. It's a Dynasty Best Ball league, and I'll just draw it 3 times. So I have 3 options that I can send it to. If you want it, it's all yours. So put in hashtag Chili Willy. All right. And we'll just do this throughout the stream if I remember. That's it. Hashtag Chili Willy. Okay. So let's go back to the starts and find an actual trade here. He did have a question. He said, how are you guys comparing the 24 QB class to the 23 and coming 25? Curious if that perspective changes your value on the picks in trades. What do you think, Shane?
So, I was actually thinking about this on the drive to work today. That the 25 classes, we've talked about it, it's not going to be as deep. And just look at the quarterbacks that we're looking at next year. Shador Sanders, I'm good with that as a high end. Quinn Ewers, who really hasn't showed us that he's elite in any way.
Easy there.
And Drew Alar. Like that's
your boy.
And he hasn't really done anything in college to show us that he's elite either. So right off the bat, the quarterback class is going to be weaker to me. We have 4 legit quarterbacks in this class.
Yeah.
We have maybe 2 next year. And yes, there'll be people that jump up. I get it. The wide receivers aren't clearly as deep or strong. They'll have some running backs. I don't like strong running back classes. So, I mean, if you're trading 4 picks for just off the basis that you're going to make them, it's probably not a great idea. When I'm trading for picks, I'm hoping that I'll be able to use that 25 first in season, that it'll be needed, and I can use it for a player as I push towards the playoffs to end Clay and Squirt.
Whatever. I beat you in that league.
I know. I got to come for you. So I need some 25s in my back pocket to come for you next year.
And some 26s. Okay, Hog Butchers in the crowd says, "What's up, guys? Superflex Start 9. Would you rather have the 104 or the 203, 206, and 209? The 104 I need 4 more seconds."
It's start 9. So let's just talk about that. So it's start 9. I'm not in a place where I want multiple seconds. I'm not splitting a first like this. Like if I'm moving the 104, dude, it's going to be like I need the 106 and the 108 back.
Yeah, or 106 and a 25 first. If it's shallow, and I always should say that at the start of the shows. I think I even have like a ticker thing that I can put up here. Hold on 1 second. When we say nope, I don't have it. When we say like start 9 and all, that's a shallow format. Start 8, shallow format. That's not including kickers and defense. Okay. And when we're saying start 10, it's kind of a mid ground. Start 11, 12 is when you start having to worry about depth. So that's where you want to get more pieces as opposed to a shallow league. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's go to these hammers here. We got one from EV Diz. Thank you very much. PPR points in their last 4 games. JAMO, 39.6. Aiyuk, 35.4. Debo, 34.3. AJ Brown, 33.8. Chase, 29.3. Caution, don't look beyond this sample size. Hashtag justice for JAMO, silence the slander. This I thought was hilarious, man. Here's a JAMO truther. EV Diz 17
Sure.
is a JAMO truther. We've known EV Diz for a while here.
Bro, I'll say this. This is why we talk about small sample sizes. You could probably find 3-game runs of just anything, just about. You could make a 3-game sample say anything you want it to. JAMO is an absolute, utter garbage can. He's not even metal. He's not even a good trash can. Like, he's a garbage can. He's like plastic. He's cracked. He kind of smells bad. You know what I mean? Like that trash can that you need to throw out, but the garbage men will never take it because they're like, oh, it's a trash can. And you're like, no, I need you to throw this out. Like, take it with you. And they won't even take it. You can buy JAMO all you want, guys. JAMO's a trash can. Utter garbage.
Shane, JAMO or a random 26 second?
Random 26 second.
See, that says it right there. JAMO or the 306 this year.
306.
Okay. He says do a 4-game sample for Demarcus Robinson as well.
For instance. Yeah, because Demarcus Robinson's like the wide receiver 1 over like, a 3-game stretch this year.
So let's go to 3 hammers from Johnny. Thank you very much. Startup, 12-team, 1 QB, start 10, PPR, no tight end premium. Kyler, 12 running back cans. Puka, Aiyuk, Nico, DK, Reed, Wicks, McBride. The 101, 204, 205, 306, and 225 first. Pre-draft sent the 201 for the 310, which is Aiyuk, and a 25 first. Sent the 107 plus Chuba for DK. Thoughts? So first, let's address that. Sorry, I got some of my notes. Pre-draft sent the 201 for the 310, which ended up being Aiyuk, and a 25 first. I guess who won at the 201? I mean, what is this?
Startup draft.
It's a startup. It's a 12-team, 1 QB.
I've seen anyone from CD Lamb, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown go in that range.
No, in the 1 QB.
Oh, 1 QB. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, no, it is less gooder. Oh, no, that is not nearly as good. That would be 13 players.
I don't know, but so I'd have to look at a board. Honestly, I could fumble around this thing for a while. It's 3 hammers from Johnny. Can you look up 1 QB kind of ADP? Because this doesn't sound as bad, actually, if you're tearing down to Aiyuk and getting a 25 first on top. What's the crowd saying? They can probably understand it more quickly than us.
I don't even know how to find non-Superflex on KT.
Yeah.
There it is. Sorry.
I'm going to look at his team while you're doing this. Go ahead.
So we're looking at Garrett Wilson, Sam Laporta, AJ Brown, early 24 first, Pat Mahomes, Malik Neighbors. So like that's the 5 guys that we can go around there.
Okay. Well, let's just take Neighbors, for example. Let's say it's Neighbors. You trade Neighbors for Aiyuk in 25 first. Trading CMC for Aiyuk in his 25 first. I like it. Yeah. It sounded the fact that it's 1 QB, it's good. Sent the 107 and Chuba Hubbard for DK. Fine with it. I mean, I don't know if I do that now, like with the 107. I would sell DK for the 107 more quickly than I'd buy him with the 107.
So DK, someone was writing up to buy him because they think he has wide receiver 1 potential. He's been a wide receiver 2 3 out of his 4 years or 4 out of his 5 years, whichever it is. I'm not great with math. He's had 1 wide receiver 1 season, and it was like 3 years ago, and it's been going the other way since then. All that said, is he worth the 107? Sure. But the 107 is going to still appreciate in value. Like as we go through the combine, we know this, right? We know that the 107, you're looking at, well, again, it's a 1 quarterback. So that does. So it's a 1 quarterback. Damn it. Yeah. You know what? I'm fine with it. Yeah. 107. I'm thinking it's probably not Troy Franklin, Xavier Worthy. I'm not really sure who's going to be there at 107 in a 1 QB. So I'm okay with it. I keep thinking in terms of Superflex, I would be less okay with it, and I wouldn't like it in Superflex. Not just that I wouldn't be less okay with it.
Yeah, this team is pretty close. It just needs to do some consolidating. The good old Shane packaging together. Can I package Jaden Reed plus Aiyuk for such and such? That's what it needs. Not too aggressive, but it's close. That one can contend for sure. Okay, let's go to back to one over here. Here's I already did that one. Sorry about that. But Charlie says Clay ghosted me, so I made the Hammers league trade. I'll have to check that out, Charlie. Let's go to this one from Scott in the crowd. Thanks for the question. How much more valuable does a running back have in a start 8 versus a start 10? A lot more value in a start 8.
Yeah, like I don't.
Most circumstances.
I feel like I should be talking about war or something, but I don't have that off the top of my head, and I quite frankly don't feel like opening it up based off how my internet connection works. If I open another tab, pretty good chance I'll crash here. But yeah, I would say it's significantly worth. It's worth significantly more to the point where in a start 8, I would give up multiple firsts.
Give up 4 firsts for CMC. Kind of thing.
I prefer
Bijan, exactly.
But like I'm in whereas in a super flex, I'm not giving up more. And I don't mean like the 112, 111. Like obviously anyone would give up those for those running backs. But I mean like start 8, I might be giving up the 104, 106 and go, yeah, that's good. I'll take Bryce here.
Yeah, because it's also the inability to start more wide receivers over running backs. So that aspect of it, just how many you have to start, equals them out, and there's the scarcity of the hammers. There's just a couple of hammers.
And remember, that's not all. It's not just starters. It's also what are there Is it a PPC league? Is it full point PPR? Is it half point PPR?
Yeah, start 8s tend to be half PPR too, is what I've seen a lot of. You know, they are ultra shallow. They're like 10 teams start 8 half PPR. But okay, let's keep on rolling here. We got 3 hammers from Johnny. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. 10 team, 1 QB, half PPR, tight end premium. So I'm guessing 1.0 for tight ends. Start 9, tear down. Kyler, AR15, Achane, Bry Rob, and Cans. Aiyuk, JSN, and Darts. Laporta has the 101, 104, 2 mid seconds, 301, 325 firsts, including my own. Offered Achane plus a mid second for the 102, got turned down, but he was tempted. What are you doing with the current assets?
So he was offered the 102 for Achane because he already has Achane.
Yeah, so here's another shallow one. This is exactly what we were just talking about. 10 team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 9. But yeah, he offered Achane and a second for the 102. He was turned down, but the guy was tempted.
So I mean, basically, it is. Do you prefer Malik Neighbors or Devin Achane or Achane, whatever you want to call him? Which do you prefer?
Achane, I think, is what he likes to be
start
called.
9
in anything in life.
We were just talking about how we prefer running backs. And Achane just happens to be one of those running backs that I absolutely adore because, again, he's going to put up crooked numbers. He's a dude that's going to have a 40-point week. I'll live with him taking 4 weeks off every week, like every season. If he wants to take 4 week siestas every year, cool. The other 13 games, I know he's going to smack. I'd
be down to get rid of him just because, like you said, tear down. I'd rather get something more flexible than a running back if I'm not going to win. He's got too much value in Kyler and AR15, maybe. I mean, that also could be an awesome. I mean, just having one of them, but I don't know.
So, either way. So, if he trades him, he's going Marvin Harrison, 102, Malik Neighbors, right? So, either way,
what does the crowd think? I'm literally gonna let's look at the live. What are you guys doing here? Oh, I see lots of chili willies. Somebody chime in. Shane, you can put up somebody's thoughts on here. But yeah, I mean, I would rather have the 102. It says the guy was tempted. So he says, what are you doing with the current assets? In this format, you eventually just want to combine everything and get hammers. But in your case, I would be making the 101 100%, unless it's just some stupid offer, making the 104. Even though it's just barely a tight end premium. If Bowers is there at 104, I'd go Bowers with that pick. You just want assets.
So so it's just a start 9, right? So I'm going to have Harrison, I'm going to have Aiyuk, and I'm going to have we're moving a chain in this theory, right? And I'm going to have
let's keep them. Let's keep them for now. Achane,
either way,
Aiyuk, Laporta, quarterback, Harrison, and then whatever's at 104, right? That'll be 6. So he can't do a lot of tearing up.
Right, but a couple of those are significant, like crooked guys. There's AR-15. You're starting him every week. That's a dude that can absolutely ball out any week. Achane, a lot of upside there. Marvin Harrison, ton of upside. I think,
I want to get the one. I want to pretty much tank this. Take my own team to the 101 if possible.
The crowd's okay with the 102. They prefer the 102. I'm fine with it. It's just me being me. Then I'm like, oh, can I consolidate that 102 and 104?
Exactly.
You really can't in this, you know? It'd be nice. Can I move up to the 103 with that 104 using a second rounder and then have the 101 trade a chain for the 102 and the 103? Neighbors,
right?
Harrison, Brock Bowers.
That's a good day.
Yeah. And if you do pull that off, you draft Brock Bowers, then Neighbors, then Marvin Harrison, just so you can screw up
mess with the ADP.
Yeah,
good call. And thank you for the reminder on that. Okay, so we got 2 hammers from Powerline. Thank you very much. 12-team Superflex PPR start 9, moving to start 10 and 25. Good for you. That's a sign of a healthy league. No tight end premium. T-Law, Arich, Goff at quarterback, Bijan, Etienne, Kamara, Eckler, and Kendre at running back, Chase, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, JSN, Ridley, Dobbs, and then at tight end, McBride and Goddard. Has the 101, 110, 201, 3/3, and 225 seconds. Trying to move a QB for a hammer wide receiver and select Caleb at 1. Curious to what other moves you'd make, is I probably can't make all the picks. You guys rock. Appreciate it. Okay.
But I don't know that you need to make a move like that at quarterback, but so can you trade? The quarterbacks you want to deal aren't going to get you back the wide receiver you want. Like you'd want to deal T-Law or you'd want to deal Goff. You're not getting a hammer wide receiver back for either of those dudes. Maybe T-Law's mom, you know what I mean? Maybe Head and Shoulders owner, because they love T-Law, will give you a good return for him. But I think everybody else is under the realization that this dude is kind of mid. And I mean, like, he's mid back end wide receiver 1. That's just what he is. He's an 18 points a game guy. Good for you. He's not a needle mover. So if you really want to hammer wide receiver, you're going to have to move Arich. And if you're comfortable with that, sure, screw it. Trade Arich and see if you can get. You already have Chase. You have G. Wilson. I mean,
ETN. How about build ETN into something? Maybe we have to do a trades in 5 show on him or something. He's not talked about much, and I don't know where my head's at. ETN and Rashad White are my question marks in my head right now.
I just don't see a lot of clamoring in any leagues for them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that again, it's like the T-Law. Like, sure, I'd want to trade ETN and Goff for a stud wide receiver, but it's not going to happen. I don't think I could trade ETN and T-Law. Maybe a little closer with ETN and T-Law. But if you really want to do it, then you got to see what Arich can get you in. I mean, obviously, we're going to start high. Can I give Arich and ETN for Jefferson? No. All right. Can I trade Arich for Amon-Ra St. Brown? Love saying that. And then if they decline that, well, let's see what else we can do to try to make that happen. And then, you could go Caleb at 101.
And I would be aggressive, actually, or I would try both things. First, I would try to package the 110, 201, and maybe a couple of those 25 seconds, see how high I can get in this draft, in this first round, because this is kind of a contending team. Like, I want to go for it now, or naturally we're trying to move the 110, 201 and stuff back to 25. So I would try to make a move with that one, right, Shane? Shane, you'd go for it, of course.
Yeah.
You're you're definitely more aggressive than Scott and myself are. I think I'm like in the middle of you guys. I don't know.
I'm way
The crowd knows us better than we know ourselves. I guarantee that.
yeah,
They
I
have to
am
listen to our asses.
wildly more risky than you and Scott. But that's what happens when you're a single male. You just tend to take risks. That's what happens.
You're in your 40s wearing a Cheez It shirt. It's
Whatever.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's go on to. Do you have another one starred in here? So Joseph Adcock from the crowd. Where do we expect Bowers to go in a 12-team Superflex 2 tight end 2.0 for tight ends? 103, 102, 103.
He's in play at 2 tight ends 2.0. He's in play at freaking
102.
101. Dude, at
101,
101, he's in play. I
2.0,
wouldn't do it.
210.
Yeah,
In certain builds, though, I bet we have some teams, I guarantee, where if we had the 101 in this format, we would be smashing Bowers because you might already be good at quarterback.
Yeah.
Obviously, your league mileage may vary and your team may vary, but yeah, as early as the 101, there's no way in hell he would make it past 103.
Yeah.
Maybe 104, but I you got to be in top 3 in that draft. Yeah. We'll see how it Bowers has some juice. You gonna take him pre NFL draft in our OG listener league, Shane?
What pick do I have? I have a bunch of picks in OG. I got picks everywhere, don't I? I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so.
I got picks absolutely everywhere. Yeah, sure, I'll take him. Sure. I can take every player I want just about now. I think I have like 5 first in that league. So yeah, I'm taking him.
And that's what's nice. In that league the year before, it was the same thing for me. Luckily, I got lucky with the players, but I had like 8 picks. So I was like, I'm gonna take you. You're the best player. You're the second best player. Let's go to 2 hammers from Easy Victor E. And just a reminder to put in hashtag Chili Willy, ChillyWilly, Chili Willy Nut Dust. Check it out. Sobotanical.com. That's my boy who owns it. Okay. Easy Victor E. 2 hammers. Thank you very much. 12-team Superflex PPR start 9. Kyler, Stafford, Bryce at quarterback, Puka, DJ Moore, T, Pittman, Palmer, and Demario. Jacobs, Ken Walker, Charbonnet, Warren, Zamir. This guy will learn the can phrase. Kincaid and Goddard at tight end. Has the 104, 203, 204, 210, no 25 first. He's trying to win this year before Stafford retires. Thinking about moving Kyler and the 104 or Higgins for Josh Allen. God, he's got a bunch more words here too. Okay. Thinking about moving Kyler, the 104 for Josh Allen. Blah, blah, blah. That's it, right?
No, I'm not doing that. But the next
commas are good. Commas and stuff are good things, guys.
The next one, he has Bryce Young, 104 Higgins, and a second for Amara and T-Law. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Let's pretend Higgins isn't in here. Let's just Kyler in the 104 for Josh Allen. Yes, I'll take Josh Allen there. Right?
I'm not doing it. No.
You're not doing that?
No, not in Superflex. No. Not at all.
That's an interesting one.
Look at Kyler, and I'll do this every time we talk about Kyler until people start putting stuff on fucking respect on him.
Quarterback.
Look at his points per game throughout his career. My dude is elite. I know people don't want to admit it because he likes to play video games. Like everybody watching this doesn't play fucking video games, but
everybody plays video games.
Yeah. But anyway, so no, I'm keeping the 104 and Kyler. But if that second deal is real,
yeah, so it's Bryce Young and the 104, and then a second for Amon-Ra and T-Law.
What?
Yeah.
What? You should have already accepted that. This should have been,
that's,
hey guys,
that's gone.
I made this trade. What do you think?
Completed trade. Pay to brag, right?
Look, I got to be honest with you. I'd give him Bryce Young the 104 and Higgins to get Amon-Ra and T-Law in this situation. The fact that I don't even need – and it says or Higgins. Dude, Bryce Young and Higgins immediately for – that can't be right. That cannot be right. And second?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what I was able to translate from
that cannot be right. If
from
that
the buy
true,
me a coffee.
Yeah, dude, if that's right, absolutely smash that second deal. Like, and please send us a screenshot that it was made.
Yeah. So we have 244 eyeballs in the crowd, 35 minutes in. Thanks so much for joining. Hit that like if you'd be so kind. Easiest way to help out this little channel. Small but mighty. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, Scott will be on here soon. We're doing again buymeacoffee.com/trades-in-5 is where we've moved super chats. It's kind of awesome over there. Getting the donations. These are preloaded hammers. So what you donate tonight, if you choose to do so, for your trade to get answered, it's not going to make it on this stream. Scott and I are doing another one Friday. We're doing a hammer stream this Friday at 3 p.m. So from 3 to like 3:50. My kid gets off the bus at like 4:08. So
I might be there.
Oh, you might be there.
That's right.
Ooh,
excellent. It depends on how my procedure goes on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Shade's having his bum looked at. All right. Thank you, Matt, for your 3 hammers. Much appreciated. 10-team Superflex PPR start 10. Arich, Goff, and some randos. JT, James Cook, Warren, Tajay Spears at running back. Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Ridley, Cooper at wide receiver, and then Pitts and McChicken tight end. 104 and 2 firsts in 25. Wondering what direction to go with this team and the 104. Feels like I just need one more hammer wide receiver and quarterback to truly compete this year. Trading for QBs, though, is extremely difficult. So maybe it's take whatever QB is left over at 104, or would you go neighbor Shane? Also want to try to offload JT. And then I'm going to keep that last JT plus 25 first thing for a second, Shane. What are you doing with this team? 10-team Superflex start 10. He's wondering what to do with the 104. Feels like he's a hammer wide receiver and QB away.
Yeah, I don't want to, because he said quarterbacks are hard to pay for, so I'm not going to overpay for them when I have Goff and Arich. And let me rephrase that: when I have Arich and Goff.
And at least you have that stack with Amon-Ra. Like it could be worse. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. JT, James Cook, Tajay Spears. In some circles, he might be able to get you a first, Tajay Spears. But JT, J Cook, definitely moving them for any draft capital. Not any draft capital, but for draft capital if I can get it. Preferably first round draft picks. And then the wide receiver, you have Amon-Ra and DJ Moore, and then just Ridley, and it goes to Cooper. Yeah, 104, I'm probably just taking neighbors. I'll shop it. You know what I mean? I'll shop. Is there any? Can I get Puka? Can I get? I don't think I'm going below Puka, to be honest with you.
This team is tough. Like, does it win?
I'll tell you what.
Is it strong enough? Pitts and McChicken. Can you tear off of McChicken? It's not even a tight end premium. It's probably McBride.
No idea who that is.
When I was typing up this banner, I started laughing my ass off. There's a bunch in here.
I mean, look,
why I geek out and stuff. Like, look at this shit.
Yes, I'd be trying to move Pitts for a 25 first, or any 24, 110 or better. McBride, same thing, assuming that's who it is, because it's not a tight end premium. And then, you know what? Maybe can I use a couple of those 25 first to go buy a better wide receiver? And then if that's the case, and I still have the 104, okay, then at that point, maybe I can then take, Jaden Daniels or Drake May, more likely, whoever falls to 104.
Yeah, so he gave us 3 hammers in this last part here that I was saving to not muddy it up. Shane, fill in this blank. You ready? Shane, JT plus a 25 first, let's call it mid, equals blank. What can he pay that for? Where are you starting? Obviously as high as possible. What are you thinking here?
I'm probably going to go ask for Olave or Garrett Wilson. And they'll probably turn me down. I would think.
I don't know. Maybe that could get it done. Yeah, I like that. I like that tier though. I mean, you can start higher. You're not going to be able to get CD Lamb or.
I mean, I doubt you can get CD Lamb, but another guy to look at that apparently is very bad at football, from what I understand now, is AJ Brown. He's getting old. I think
Yeah.
he'll be 27 next year. Whew. You know, I think he was barely a top 10 wide receiver last year in fantasy. Just trash. So maybe I could get 25 first in JT for AJ Brown, or give that up to get AJ Brown, I should say.
Yeah, I would just be a bit careful giving up two for ones. This team could get in trouble in a hurry just looking at some of the pieces, Goff.
Well, I mean, you take
it's just be careful with your assets. I'd say
you lose Arich and it's troublesome. You know what I mean? It definitely is an issue.
Yeah. Okay, let me clean this up by getting rid of some of these banners. All right, let's go. I see Ty in the crowd. I see everybody in the crowd that we typically see.
Yeah,
update on Shane's car. This is important from Jay. Just quick update.
Hey, Jay, no longer stolen. I got it back after a month of repairs. And I finally smartened up and bought or added car rental insurance to my insurance, because, well, there's a good chance my car is going to get hit by a truck, stolen, or its windows broken out again at some point. But as of today, it's great.
Maybe it's a house issue. Maybe it's a location issue. No, let's go here to Smooth Criminal Entertainment. That's got to be a YouTube channel. Go ahead and Google that or search for it. Smooth Criminal Entertainment. Interesting. Should I trade Herbert and Godwin for Lamar and Gabe Davis? If it's a 4-point per passing touchdown, I would do it, because I would take Lamar over Herbert, and Godwin, Gabe Davis, they're not going to make or break my.
I really like Godwin a significant amount over Gabe Davis, but that said, I don't.
In terms of market value, that's all I'm saying. I like Godwin.
Yeah, but I'm a Lamar guy, so I'm going to take the Lamar side, even if I'm taking a hit at wide receiver.
Yep. Okay, so here let's bring we've got somebody in the background. And we'll figure it out. Or how about this? We'll just swap me. Scott, give me a thumbs up in the background if this is when I should just move or something. Is this when I should do my moving? Yeah. Okay. I am going to switch the background. This is going to be cool. So Scott, it's going to be Scott and Shane with their lounges. Okay. Shane and Scott. So you're going to be over here. Okay.
Oh, it's just me. Oh, hey, Scott.
I have arrived, Shane. How are you, sir?
Kentucky held on, man, right? They held on. I saw it was 78-75.
Yeah, there was I don't know how many more years my heart can take these games. It was up 7 with 40 seconds left, and they needed a buzzer beater. So that's never good, Shane.
Ooh. Hey, real quick.
They held on.
You can still hear me, right? You can still hear me, right?
Yes.
So, Scott, go into the banners on the right under comments, and you'll see Hammer's 2/27 stream. And there's 15. This is where I'm working out of, that first folder. All right.
I am good. Sure. You ready to go?
I'll be back.
Shane, are you ready for a mannequin show with the Cincinnati and Philadelphia background?
Yes, let's rock, baby. Let's rock. But I want to take one from the audience who have been kind enough to come watch us live. I love doing live things for people. Comments. Where's my starred ones? Oh, there you go. Here you go. Ty DeClaire, good looking man, excellent beard, excellent roster reviewer.
Canadian.
Canadian. Well, no one's perfect. Really smart football dude. He says what's up. So hi to Ty. Brennan, speaking of Brendan Min of Roster Reviews. Hey guys, how do I get a roster review? Go on Dynasty Trades. Dynasty Trades in 5.com and go on there and look at DS.
The show goes to absolute shit when we try to do any sort of outside the box stuff. Roster review at dynastytradesin5.com or dynastytradesin5.com. You can check them out there, or just find one of us and we'll direct you to our trusted Terrell Sanford, who answers all of the roster review inquiries. But
or If you're a patron, join the D5 tier. I think that's what it's called on Destination Devi, and then we give you a discount for roster reviews too. So go do that. Something all gas enter. Sure. Max V wants to know: would you rather have Kyler and the 109 or the 101?
It's only on the overlay. DynastyTradesIn5.com in the Patreon right above.
Oh,
it's only there.
It's right there, guys. DynastyTradesIn5.com, Patreon.com/allgas, baby.
Yes. Where are you at on this one? Kyler in the 101 or 109 for the 101. I know where you're going with this. Looks like a familiar trade, huh? What are you doing? You're hesitating. You're hesitating. This is Kyler Murray.
This is Kyler. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. I am. I get the 109 with Kyler as well. I'm going to go Kyler. I'm going to go Kyler here.
Yeah, Kyler in the pick. I did want to comment on a question that you guys got. I think it was the first question. It was the team with the 101. And they said they were an orphan that was in very rough shape, and they were getting Tank Dell, the 104, Deshaun Watson in the 210. If it's orphan in a rough shape with no assets, like, come on, that's a smash. That's not even close. So if that person is still listening, I don't remember his name, but if that person is still listening, that is a dream trade. That's exactly what you want if you have an orphan that has no assets. So let's get to some hammers. You ready?
That was Joe. Yep, I'm ready.
We got Connor, spells his name wrong, but I'll forgive him because he dropped his 3 hammers, 10 teams, Superflex, PPR, start 10, no tight end premium. Quarterbacks are rough here, right? Bryce Young. He does have his namesake, James Conner, Tyler Algier, Ty Chandler, Jaleel McLaughlin. You get the picture. Shane, best receiver is Michael Wilson. Is that good? Hey, at least he's got a lot of picks, but we're starting off rough at receiver too with Michael Wilson, Khalil Shakir, Pat Freiermuth, and Shiggy. So I don't really see a good starter in sight there in a 10-teamer, but he owns every draft pick known to man. It looks like 7 of the top 8 picks, excluding the 105, and then the 202, 3, 6, 8, 9, and 10, which in a 10-teamer, 12, 13, 16, 18, and 19, and 20. So, yeah, every single pick other than, 5? So he's got 15 picks in the top 20, Shane. This is a good class to have those. 325 first, 3 seconds, 326 first. In his startup last year, he took the approach to load up on picks. 7 of 10 people in the league went win now, so he went the other direction. So that was smart.
Yes.
Perfect question, though. Shane, how do I play it? What's the strategy? How do I build my team? They are all starting to catch rookie fever and want their picks back. This is perfect for Shane. What you doing?
Oh, well, we need some 2-for-1s. What are you going to give me for those picks, kind sir? Can I go back to that first page, Mr. Connor? Or Charles, as some people like to call you, even though it's not your name. What can I trade the 103 for? What 2 pieces can I get? 25 first and the 105. Apparently that 105 is sitting out there. You don't have that one.
That's the only tier down pick. 105
or the 7. He can go the 105 or the 7. Also,
he has the 7. You see, 6, 7, 8. It's literally the 105 unless you want to tear down to the 19 and 110.
We don't. So honestly, I'm making these picks unless you're going to incentivize. That's not the word. Can you say the word?
Incentivize. Now, I want to ask you, what if the team with the 105 says the only deal I will do is the 101 for the 105 and a 25 first? Given the shape of this team, are you taking the 2 assets in that case?
Yes, because this team is freaking god awful, and we need all the shots we can take, especially early shots.
And then are you making picks 2 through 8 and just drafting the top 8 players, which we've kind of considered to be in a big tier? Are you just picking all of them? And now you have all the futures as well?
Unless someone comes to me, because he already has 3, so that'd be 425 first. So unless someone comes to me with pretty much the same exact offer for one of those other picks, we're going to be doing this. Yeah, we're going to be making the picks. If someone comes to me and they're like, I'd like to make the 102 and the 103. But if someone comes to me and they're like, here, I'll give you the 109 and a 25 first for, that's not enough. I don't know. If I can get fair value for the 104, I'll deal it, but it's looking like I'm going to be making a lot of picks right here. A lot of picks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the 109, 110, and 201 are all not in your possession. So if you can get a tier down where you get a 25 first plus one of those picks for one of the earlier picks, I'd be fine doing that. Last question here, Shane. Are you moving Bryce Young? A lot of people don't like to move a guy like Bryce Young, but I kind of feel like if there's any risk with an asset like him, would you move him for a future first, given where this team is? And given that if he fails this year, you may never be able to get out of him in a 10-teamer.
Yeah. Just reroll. I mean, what we saw was bad. It was very bad by every metric and every standard you could ever look at. It was very, very bad. I'm holding on to my own leagues because, well, I'm just loyal like that and stupid sometimes. But I would suggest you move them.
Fair. All right, next one. This is a quick one. One Hammer, Kim Jung, 12-team Superflex Start 9, tiered PPR, half-point running backs, full-point wide receivers, tight ends. I assume it's 1.5. Says it's tiered, but he doesn't specify them. Richardson, Kyler, Deshaun Watson, James Conner, every rookie running back that didn't matter. And then his receivers are good. Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson. He has no tight ends. So basically very, very top-heavy. 5 good players. And then bodies. And he's got Watson as a third QB. Successfully tanked for the 101 after the startup. Was planning on adding Marv to this team, but Neighbors feels like in the same tier. No one in the top 4 slots seems willing to pay a premium to move up to 101. What is the least you would take, or do you just add Marv and move on? He's worried about his depth in a start 9, but listen, I already have Chase, Amon-Ra, and Garrett Wilson. If I can't get the deal to move back to the 102 and feel good about taking Malik Neighbors, or 103 and feel good about taking Malik Neighbors, if 102 is going to go QB, I'm just taking Marv, aren't you? Pretty easy.
Yeah, and what were we talking about in the Heisman, right? We were talking about there's a plus non-zero chance. I don't think that makes sense, but there's a good chance that Malik Neighbors might be the 102 even in Superflex drafts by the time your rookie drafts start up. So that said, I'm still going to go Marvin Harrison at 101. If I can move down to the 102 and get something else at it, and it doesn't even have to be a lot, I'm more than fine with taking Neighbors and getting whatever extra asset I can get added to it. But yeah, your team start 9, depth doesn't matter, and your team is deep at the starter spots.
Yep, and that's just one where you just now have to find a way to maybe split an asset to get some running backs, but it's a contender, regardless of if you don't have a tight end or if you don't have any good running backs besides Connor. So next one, film star Mel Brooks, One Hammer, 12-team Start 9, Superflex PPR, tight end premium, another team, almost identical questions back-to-back. Richardson, T-Law, Cousins, Bijan, Algier, Cans, and some sexy receiver rooms to start off this evening. Chase, Lamb, London, Christian Kirk, Mark Andrews, the 101 and the 102. He's thinking of grabbing Caleb and Marv and then using the early seconds to buy RBs, Kamara, Jacobs, B-Rob, James Cook. He wants to keep Caleb and inclined to hoard QBs, but is that too much of a waste? So here's the QB room. Richardson, T-Law, Cousins, in a start 9 where you already have Chase, Lamb, Drake London, and a semi-elite tight end. Shane, are you obviously trying to trade back if you can? But I mean, I don't hate coming out of this draft with Marv and Neighbors, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm just counting the receivers to make sure I can start all of them. So Chase, Lamb, London, Neighbors, and Marvin Harrison. I'm assuming you can start 5 wide receivers in this league, and then using the seconds on old people.
You can only start 4 if it's start 9 because you got a super flex, you got a tight end, 2 running backs, and a QB. But here's the thing: do you care? How sweet is it to have Drake London coming off the bench with Christian Kirk? You are.
Yeah,
I'll just say this: you are dialed in at receiver. You don't roster another one. If you have any more on your team, get rid of them / cut them. You are as dialed in as you could get at receiver. That is called wide receiver threshold efficiency. I'm taking
here's the thing.
Marvin Neighbors.
Yeah, you do that, right? And that's to put you in a position if you do want to make moves for quarterback later, you still have London, Cousins, T-Law to make a move with those 3 pieces to try to upgrade your second quarterback. So yeah, just bang out the wide receivers. Scott said you could start all 4: Chase, Lamb, Harrison, and Malik Neighbors. 4 top 10 dynasty wide receivers in your starting lineup. Not bad.
Yeah, and if you have an active league, I'm okay actually not making picks at those seconds either. Trade what you can for a running back. But if it's an active league, you already have a team set up to smash right here, design-wise. Hedge those seconds. Get a couple future seconds. Buy running backs during the season. No reason to invest in a guy like Josh Jacobs right now for the 201.
I already missed it. Yeah, I missed that. He has Bijan. Like,
It's Bijan. That's what I mean. He's got the anchor, so there's no
Yeah.
reason to go give up draft capital for running backs that are just fillers. So
Yep.
all right, 6 hammers. Yak.
Oh,
You ready?
sheesh.
We're gonna give this one some attention, Shane. 10 team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 8. So flip that Superflex brain off. Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray. Okay. Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Cans, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Devontae Smith, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, JSN, TJ Hawkinson, Kyle Pitts, 110, 202, 203, 205. So 4 top 15 picks, but none in the top 9. He mentions JAMO and QJ, but are they relevant in a 10-team start 8?
He did say dishonorable mentions. So I like that. They're on his roster, but he doesn't care.
He won because of y'all. Thank you. I've been needing to buy my boys their coffees. Appreciate it, man. 6 coffees. I can stay up all night with those 6 coffees. Moving to a start 9. Okay, so we're going to one more starter. Can you buy everybody in your league a coffee and get it to like a start 12? Make it a little more fun.
Yeah.
How does he exploit his league mates who are still heads start 8 with his pieces? Are still in the heads start 8. Headspace with start 8. I don't know. They undervalue the second rounders, and it's impossible to trade into the overvalued high first, which it should be in a 10-team start 9. It's almost, you can't give me enough late picks to get up into the top 2 or 3.
All right.
But what should he be doing with guys like JAMO, QJ, monopolize the second? I mean, what do you do when you're already stuck here? I ask you these questions all the time, Shane. You cannot tier up. What's the strategy? We get these a lot, and people go, buy hammers. Well, I've already tried. Can't buy any hammers. What do you do?
Yeah. So first of all, irregardless if it's start 8 or start 1,000, if I could trade JAMO and QJ types for any seconds from now to 2030, I'm probably going to do it. 2030 is a little out there, so maybe like 2029. And then make those picks. So he's already got how many second rounders? He's got a few, right?
He does have right here. He's got the 202. So basically the 12th, the 13th, and the 15th pick, which, you have to remember it's 1 QB. So you can remove probably McCarthy, Caleb, Drake, and Jaden Daniels. So we're talking, we're down there. We're in about the late second of a super flex draft here. So it's not as sexy as it might be, but
but there were still some guys that you could take legitimate shots on that aren't. So this is what I would not do. I'm not drafting someone going, all right, I think I can get this guy to be like, he might be a starter. He might get 15 carries a week or something like that. I'm looking for a wide receiver that his range of outcomes is like terrible, where he's going to explode. Like I don't really want in between, because I already have in between. I don't really care about it. So I'd rather take the shot on players with incredible ceilings. Like, is it Johnny Wilson that's like 8'2"? I'm just going for weird people. You know what I mean? People that have like one specific trait that I can bank on. Like you were bringing him up the other day in our rookie draft, Jalen Wright, someone like that.
So I want to bring the crowd into this question a little bit too, because I was just on a Did It call the other day, and this question came up in our Discord as well, is how do I defeat variance in shallow leagues where I can't tier up? Which is basically this, right? This is I've already tried. I don't have a lot of tier up pieces. He's got guys like Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. They're worth more in a shallow league just for their potential scoring versus anything you could ever trade him for, because he probably can only get more seconds to re-roll him. So how do you defeat variance in a shallow league, Shane? Do you have any thoughts? I mean, you cannot tier up, period. So you have to find alternate ways to gain an edge in your lineup or with your assets. So my first thing would be guys like JAMO and QJ. I don't even want them. Anything I can take to get rid of them, fine. I want to re-roll as many pieces as I can, because the only way to hit on a tier up is to take shots, right? Seconds, thirds. Now, you said be a little more mindful of the types of profiles you invest in. That's fine. But new players are what is going to generate value. You're not generating value on a third year, insert decent but not great player. You're just not. You're not probably generating a ton of value on Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison. They are what they are. So the newness of, and to him, I might draft Braylon Allen. I might draft Blake Corum. You know, if I can, like, I'm going after those types of guys because there might be, excuse me, but there might be a dummy in your league that goes, that could be a next great running back if they pop. And what other players can you sell for that? And I think the other thing is looking for places in your lineup when you can upgrade. Can you get Trey McBride for Kyle Pitts and something? Because you're starting Kyler Murray, right? How do you find any upside? It's probably finding stacks that are in the same tiers that give you a little more upside week to week. Aiyuk, since you have Brock Purdy, can you get him? But can you find ways to add a little bit of upside to your lineup without really tiering up, because you can't tier up? So I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that.
No, yeah,
ready to come back.
I like the tiers. I like the stacking. Excuse me, not the tiers. I like the stacking, like just Michael Wilson to go with Kyler. Like, I trade JSN for Michael Wilson plus. I trade JSN for any first, to be quite frank. But yeah, I like that. You've already seen what some of these players already are. Like, I like Devonta Smith, but I would trade him.
Well, and that's the final thing is you probably have to be in shallow leagues. You have to be more cognizant of where the other managers are in your league, because sometimes you have to take more risk against a manager that you don't believe is that good of a manager and try to get a future pick from them. The only way you turn Devonta Smith into something meaningful is probably take the risk of trading him for a future first, and it ends up being next year's 102. Yeah. And you're sitting on another neighbors, and maybe you hit on a tier up player. But just doing it where I'm going to add a bunch of shit to get elite studs, like, I think most people are too smart for that. So Great question from Yak with 6 hammers, but it's something that we can probably dive into more. And then the last thing about it is you just can't defeat the variance in shallow leagues. It's there. It's going to get you. That's why you build a lot of teams. If you're in shallow leagues, I'd probably do a lot of leagues just to kind of, chase some of that variance that I can't win with one team. So let's bring Clay back. Clay added himself back. Let me change the overlay for you.
I got it.
All right. You drive.
On it. How's it going? Did it go great? Shane, how would you say you performed?
I would say excellent. I did a great promo for for the patron.
Did you really?
Really?
Not the Patreon, even though it was on the screen.
Patreon.com/allgas. And you were probably saying, yeah, join the Destination Devi. Like, we're Dynasty Trades in 5, right?
Yeah, no, I told them to join the Destination, the D5.
The Destination 5 is a great combo tier. Yeah,
tier.
No doubt
I told
about
them
it.
to get that. And then I told them to go on Patreon and do that too. So I don't know what I told people. I gotta be honest with you.
No
problem. So, okay, let's go to Connor here. I take it you didn't hit these that were up above, right? Scott,
you got every one of them.
You got every one of these?
Every hammer in the hopper has been hit. Yes, sir.
Okay, except for this next batch of 20. Andy from Australia. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Or we appreciate it.
Little known fact. Australia is not a real place.
Allegedly. Okay. 10-team Superflex, start 11, half PPR, no tight end premium. Quarterbacks are Hurts, Watson, Jones, AOC and Cans, Kyron, JT, Pacheco, Connor, Warren, AJ Brown, Diggs, Devontae Smith, Adams, Hopkins, Wicks at wide receiver, and then at tight end, McBride, Goddard, Kraft. Has the 101 and 102, which was via trade, only 24 picks. All 25 picks plus extra seconds and thirds. Here's an inbox offer, guys. Give Kyron and Dontavian Wicks, get the 105 and Amari Cooper. Again, this is a 10-team Superflex start 11 half PPR. What do you think?
I'm thinking on it. I am. I'm doing it.
I am too. Yeah. 105 is still 105 is still better than Kyron, even though it's a shallow half PPR, right?
I mean, 10-teamer though.
I know.
Yeah, the only reason I would do it is because I think I have a better shot of moving around the board if I have the 105, and he also has the 101 and the 102. So he's going to control basically what is there at his 105. So if it's me, I'm probably not drafting a quarterback, and I'm just waiting for the 105, and I'll take one there.
Exactly.
And
so that's why the people don't realize why the 105 is so important. Why when you have those first one or two of the picks, because then it lets you do whatever you want at 101, 102. Like either if you have the 102 and you're like, I'm going Malik Neighbors, I'm going to get a wide receiver, or I'm going to get a quarterback at 105. Like, it's just fait accompli. It's done.
So I wanted to put this up there now. I like having those little conversations before putting in a completely different thought, see if there's a match. Happy with the value of the trade, but do I make all the picks or try to move some or all the other assets around? JJ, Chase, Lamb, Bryce, not available for trade. The owners won't shift. So he's gone hammer hunting. So just seeing if that changes your thoughts at all.
I mean, what other hammers are there? He basically just
I
named
know.
most of them that aren't available, and he already has AJ Brown. He already has Jalen Hurts. I mean, what is there? Maybe 3 or 4 more players you'd even think about trading. And the quarterbacks are out here because it's a 10-teamer. So it's like, yeah, I'd probably have to make the picks, man. Unfortunately,
I'm not dying to trade away. I'm not dying to trade away Kyron for that.
No,
I've got the 101 and 102. You know, I don't know.
101, you go
because
Neighbors.
Just
102, you go Harrison. At 105, you go Brock Bowers. I don't even need a quarterback because it's the 10-team start 10.
Let's go to Loafinator. Thank you very much for the 3 hammers. Appreciate it. 12-team Superflex PPR 1.75 for tight end start 11. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Gibbs at Allen and Kyler at quarterback, Gibbs, Charbonnet at running back, St. Brown, Waddle at wide receiver, Freiermuth, everything else cans. 104, 109, 207, 4 late round picks. And he says he has all of his 25s. Did a sloppy job tanking first year, but still seemed to have decent value. Looking to turn the corner and feel I have the pieces to start competing after good offseason moves. League is somewhat stingy on trades. Do I stick with my picks or do I try and make a bigger move to move the needle? You guys rock. Love the content. Appreciate it, man. What do you think, Arich? Here's his team. He didn't name off many pieces, and then everything else cans and just has the 104 and 109.
And it's start 11.
It's you're still a ways away, but go ahead.
He's got 5 pieces that are clear starters, and then he's got 2 premium picks for a start 11. I mean, can you move back from the 104? Are you interested in doing that with your quarterbacks? Do you really want to draft, let's say, Neighbors and Marv are gone? Do you really want to draft Jaden Daniels on this team, given how scarce you are at skill players? I'm guessing Neighbors probably falls, but that's a gamble. I might even try to move up to the 103 just to make sure I get what I want, or try to move back. I'm pretty flexible here with this team.
I mean, here's the thing. So if you move up to if you're really going to, if you're really going to make sure that you get Neighbors, you got to move up to the 102. As we were talking about in the Heisman chat today. Dude, Neighbors might be the 102 by the time rookie drafts roll around. It just might happen. Not saying that it's definite, but it would suck to move up to the 103 and then go, hey, I still have to draft a quarterback because the dudes in front of me both went wide receiver. I do like seeing what could I get for Josh Allen? I want to put that out there. Let me see what I can get for him. I wouldn't do it with Murray because I wouldn't get enough. I already know that. There's no respect on his name. That's fine. So will the league overpay for Josh Allen? Let me see if I could make a move there.
Yeah, and just to add a little bit to that, it's a very short list of managers that you're talking to. It's the owners of Lamar, and you're not talking to any trash can quarterback owners. Okay, I think we covered that. Thank you very much for those hammers. Appreciate it. Let's do another one here from 32 Beat Writer said, "What's up? How's it going?" Yeah. We exchanged DMs. I was roughly 3 weeks late responding to his, and then I haven't heard back on his. But hey, here we meet again. Let's go to Zach, and then we're going to go to one from the crowd. Thank you for the 3 hammers. 12-team Superflex PPR 1.5 for tight end start 10. Burrow at quarterback. Bryce, Chubb at running back, London, Rice, Pickens, Dobbs, Shakir at wide receiver, Freiermuth at tight end. 102, 112, 202, 204, 212, 2 extra 25 first, and an extra 26. Okay. He does mention too, he has 4 extra 25 seconds. That's worth mentioning. I know I need a QB or 2 with Fields' uncertainty. Difficult to trade for QBs in my league. What moves would you suggest to get into a position to draft a QB? Keep hammering away. Appreciate it.
Well, I don't think you need a QB. It's a 10-teamer. QBs shouldn't be that difficult to deal if it's just getting a QB. What he's probably meaning is he needs a better QB. So I don't think he's correct in that he can't get a QB. He just is probably thinking, can I get another Hammer QB? And he doesn't have the assets to do it unless he moves all of his future picks, and I don't even know if that gets it done. So I'm fine riding with Fields. Listen, he's got in a 10-teamer, he's got crooked number outcomes in his repertoire, right, Shane? Meaning he could be a guy where you wish half a year from now you didn't have any of them, or you could be like he was the best deal in Dynasty because he's putting up top 5 numbers. So if you count him, wait.
I totally jacked this up. I thought I was reading Zach's. Sorry to cut you off. I read this and then this one, right? Okay. All right. I switched around big time. My apologies. This is a totally different team. Yeah, okay. Nice.
This is the team I was looking at. The one that you had on the screen the whole time.
You were looking at. Yeah. This is the team you were like. I started with Zach, but yes, okay. Maybe it's not as bad. I'll listen on replay and be like, dude, you didn't even need to say anything. You were fine.
No, you were good. You were good because you mentioned Fields, and then you read the second part with Fields, and then I was like, all right, let's roll with it. But no, I don't think this team needs to really go after another QB. It's a contender. I mean, look at the roster. It's a contender that has excess to trade. I mean, God, you got 4 of the top, 7 running backs. You have the 2 top tight ends. You have 3 good receivers, 4 good receivers, 2 great receivers. I mean, all your picks, this is one of those teams that Variance just probably kicked it in the ass and it didn't win, but it has enough to win. Right. Maybe you move her. What would you do, Shane? Would you move a running back here? Is this a team you'd move Bijan if you could get a significant quarterback upgrade? Just because I already have those other 3 running backs. If you could move Bijan and Fields to get a first and Jalen Hurts, would you do it? We have to read Shane's lips.
So there's a list of about 3 other quarterbacks that I would make that deal for. It's Jalen Hurts. It's okay. So there's a list of 1 other quarterback I would make that deal for. It's Jalen Hurts, and that's it. So no, I'm probably not going to be able to pull that deal off because I'm really limited on who I'm willing to take. And just back to the Fields thing. As Fields is your QB2, I'm 1,000% on board with that. I love that. Great.
You know what I mean? Here's the thing with Josh Allen as your QB1, meaning you could probably throw in a Geno Smith and get by with Josh Allen and a second QB, but you have 20% higher upside week to week than any other team in the league with Fields. So if you're just worried about QB depth, I mean, get a third to make you feel better, but week to week, I mean, your QBs could absolutely smash. They will. They'll win you a couple weeks by themselves.
For sure. 3 hammers from Zach. Thank you very much. 12-team Superflex, PPR, 1.5 or tight end, start 10. Burrow at quarterback, Bryce, Chubb at running back. London, Rice, Pickens, Dobbs, Shakir, Freiermuth. The 102, 112, 202, 204, and then 2 extra 25 firsts, 4 extra 25 seconds. What do I do with all this stuff as we approach rookie draft season? I'm thinking competing in 25 is the goal unless 24 somehow turns into a happy accident. Thanks, fellas, with the cheers emoji. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Zach.
So I think this is one of those teams that you have the extra picks. You have the 102. I'm not committed one way or the other at the 102. This is one of those ones where if I have to take a non-QB, I will. And just play it as, all right, if I have Breece Hall, Joe Burrow, Drake London, Marvin Harrison, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, I have other picks, to start 10. I'm guessing that trying to win in 24 isn't the plan, but it's not a team where I'm going to go, I'm just tanking. I'll find another cheap QB and play it and see. I mean, I don't have a lot of depth, so things go wrong, I'm not going to compete. But I don't think this is the one where I'm just there's no way I'm going to be able to compete this year. I've seen way worse teams get in shape where they're actually in the middle and competing.
Now, you should be throwing that 112 at Deshaun Watson, the 112 and the 202 at Deshaun Watson. Throw the 202 at Bryce Young. And if he wants to 112 or she wants to 112, I'm willing to take that risk. You're not paying that much. And if it goes well, then things really look up for you due to the fact that you don't have another quarterback on your roster, from what I can tell. Just Burrow. Going to be tough in a super flex.
And I'll just add this: when you have teams like this, you need to dial in your roster construction. You should not have Khalil Shakir and Romeo Doubs on your team. I don't care who I start. It's a year where there's no pressure for me to contend. So we don't see his whole team, but I hope on his team he doesn't have 5 more receivers and no backup QBs. And why do we have Nick Chubb? Like, Nick Chubb's a guy I would trade. I'd just get out from him for whatever. You know what I mean? That's another guy. If I'm not all in, I don't even want on my roster. So tighten up your construction. Add a bunch of running backs. Add a bunch of quarterbacks. You may luck your way into being around 500. Then you can decide what you want to do. But get your roster construction in order when you have one of those middling teams.
Shazam, thank you for your hammer. Shane, this is for you. 12-team Superflex, non-PPR, no tight end premium, start 9. Kyler, Fields, Bryce at quarterback. CMC, JT, and Cans at running back. Chase, Puka, Waddle, Olave, Amari Cooper, and then McBride at tight end. Lost the ship, but own just the 103. If Marvin Harrison Jr. drops to 103, take him in this non-PPR format, given my construction. 103 is looking either Marv or a QB. League economy is RB and QB overvalued. Can't package Fields plus the 103 to tier up. And then he says, like, a couple other guys around there don't want to trade. And this was interesting. The 101 is open after the draft. So let's look at his team and see if that's something you want to pursue after the draft.
Again,
team start 9, Shane, standard, non-PPR. I'm still trying to digest that from last stream myself. Did you get there?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, that does take the luster off of Fields a little bit, but he's still, I mean, he's still got the, why does everyone hate Fields so much? As your QB2, Fields is perfect. Why would you want to add to him in a significant piece to tier up? Like, I'll tell you what, could I put, well, if I could add something to Fields to get Kyler, I'd do that, but you have Kyler. If I can add something to Fields to get Jalen Hurts, sure, I'll do that. But there's Josh Allen, sure, I'll do that, but not a lot. I don't want to add a whole other ass player to it. I don't want to add a Puka to it. I'm not doing all that. No. So the problem with 103 is, are you going to add another quarterback? Kyler, Fields, Bryce, and then Neighbors or Marvin Harrison? I don't care about the roster construction when it comes to this. I'm taking Marvin Harrison if he's on the board at 103. I just am. You can fight me all you want on roster construction. I'm going to have one too many wide receivers, and we'll just have to live with it. And if you're that worried about my roster construction, I can move Amari Cooper. I'll trade one of those other wide receivers, but I'm adding Marvin Harrison to this team.
I'll just say this. In a standard league, you got to think of ways. It's a standard start 9 with no tight end premium, right? So if Marv goes to like the Cardinals, that touchdown stack right there, like that's standard leagues like this they're lower scoring. So anything where you can increase your range of outcomes in a given week. Again, we play in a weekly game. So I don't hate Fields, but I also don't mind having Fields on a team like this. And if he fades to nothing, who cares? Like, I'm not worried about a quarterback like that fading away. And the other thing is, if you draft Marv, what it allows you to do is go and move somebody like Amari Cooper for who is the grossest running back you can find. You know, it's like, no, seriously, like a couple AJ Dillons or got anything that you're like, all right, it's a standard league. Can this guy get a bunch of touches? Najee Harris over Amari Cooper 1,000 times in a standard league like this. Brian Robinson, like, can you make a deal like that? Like that's what benefits you by getting quote unquote stuck with Marvin Harrison. So I would just do it. Trust that process.
Sounds good. Okay. Let's keep moving here. We've got Alec with the hammer, and then we'll grab one from the crowd. Thank you very much. 12 teams. Scott, this for you. Superflex PPR 1.5 for tight end, start 10. Herbert and then backups at QB. Bryce, Achane, and Cans at running back. Aiyuk, McLaurin, and more Cans at wide receiver. And then Michael Mayer, right? God, Shane always screws me up.
Maybe that's Jacoby. Is that Jacoby Myers?
No. I've read a lot of these. It always ends with tight end before picks, except when Orb threw me off.
This is closer to, but that name is closer to Jacoby Myers than it is Michael Meyer.
But okay, Shane,
but after Cans is
listener
always
lingo. He listed Cans, so you're saying Jacoby Myers is lower than Cans?
Maybe this guy thinks he's lower than Cans. I can't account for everyone.
All right. So this is a 12-team Superflex 1.5 start 10. He's got the 102, 107, 111, 112, 3 seconds in all future picks. How would you be looking to upgrade this dreadful wide receiver room? Is it worth packaging the 111 and 112 with a sweetener to get another pick in the top 6? And then he says, should he package Achane with one of those late firsts to get into the Garrett Wilson tier? And then there was just one last. Nope, we'll let you hit that, and then I'll bring up his last thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if this team's contending, but two of our best 3 assets are running backs. So that worries me a little bit here of how do I play that. So I'm probably shopping running backs. Can I get a deal where I get the pick that I could draft Neighbors potentially for Breece Hall, and can I get something else on top of it? Can I give a McLaurin and Breece Hall for like the 104 and a future first? Some deal like that where I'm kind of kicking the can to a year down the road, and I'm also getting rid of one of my best assets, which is a running back. Because I don't feel like if I had 2 more assets here plus these picks, I'd be fine just rolling with it with Bryce and Achane, but I just don't think he has enough firepower. So this has to be kind of like a soft tank. Split the 102 if you want. Can you move back a spot or 2? This is one of those, if I can turn the Marv pick into Neighbors plus, I'm okay doing it. If I can move a running back, everything else you can sell, honestly. You can sell McLaurin. You can sell Michael Mayer. You just got to split some out. You need more assets. That should be the focus for 2024. Not really trying to add things that'll help you right now.
Yeah, and let me just throw in there, feel like I'm better off getting 2 to 3 solid pieces rather than 5 to 6 shots at hitting with the picks. Caleb probably going 101. I plan on Marv at 2. Can find short-term help at QB. Y'all are the best. All right, appreciate that, Alec. Good stuff. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's go to one from the crowd. Let's see what we got starred over there. From Wheels, 107 and Garrett Wilson. Nice. 107 and 110 or Garrett Wilson, Shane?
Garrett Wilson. I'm assuming it's not start 13 or so. If it's start 13, I want the picks. Start 12, I probably still want the picks.
Yeah, let's say it's a 12-team Superflex start 10. Tight end premium.
Garrett, I will take Mr. Wilson. And I know you could probably do fun things with those picks, except that they're low end. Like that 110 isn't sexy. I've got 110s in leagues. I've been trying to do stuff with them. It's been rejected and soundly and resoundingly. That's not a word. Whatever. So
Rome Adunze right now is probably close to a lock to get a top 10 draft capital. Adunze and a 25 first or Garrett Wilson. I think I'm taking the 2 pieces all day.
Package.
I'll take it. Well, yeah, but that's not what the trade was.
Even in a start 9, I'm taking that.
It's a 110, Shane, though. I think I can probably add a second to that and get a 25 first. Boom. Done.
Go for it. Good luck.
Scott's like, what? I'm willing to work. All right, let's go to the next one here. Okay, it is from M. Bragg. Thank you for the hammer. We are on to Scott. 12-team, 1 QB, half PPR, no tight end premium, start 8. So a shallow one here. Tua, Watson, Baker at quarterback. He said his only running back is JT. Wide receiver, JJ, Puka, Waddle, JSN. And then at tight end, Otten and Musgrave. Picks has the 101, 201, 202, another late second, and 225 first. Says he's coming off a last place finish for the second straight year. However, I was able to make a couple strong moves, trading Bijan for JJ straight up. Nice. And getting Puka at the end of the season. So here's an offer. I did just receive an offer of JSN for Ken Walker. I've also tried upgrading at QB, but many of the teams are asking hefty prices. So, Scott, what do you think here? He mentioned JSN for KW was an offer. 12-team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 8.
I don't love it, but it is a half PPR. It is a shallow league. You probably need a running back more than you need a receiver. You've gotten as fortunate as you can get getting Marvin Harrison in the 1 QB start 8 league. So, I mean, he's unmovable, and you're locking him into a team with already Jefferson, Puka, and Waddle. So I'm fine doing that deal. I would try this counter first. JSN and Ken Walker. See if you can get a 25 first back with one of those 201s or 202s. I'd even give 2 of them. Give me a chance at another high roll pick
So,
next year.
so lay out the get.
I give JSN for Ken Walker. That was offered to him. So your counter would be, I give you the 201 and the 209. You give me a 25 first.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, the 209 for a second. Like I want to re-roll those other picks instead of make them, because I have a better shot at getting a better asset. So that savvy counter gives you just enough where I'd be willing to do the deal. I don't love Ken Walker, but I don't know, Shane, how excited are you on JSN in a shallow half PPR?
I am not excited at all about JSN
so.
under most circumstances. In my JSN only league, I have been trying to trade him and getting
The JSN
bites.
Premium League.
Yeah, nothing, no bites.
Yeah. Jacob C with the hammer. Thank you very much, Shane. 10-team Superflex Start 10 tight end premium. Olave and the 105 or Chase.
Oh.
Let me finish. Have the 101, 102 through 106, 109, 110, 4 firsts and 25. No QB's value. Does it make sense to make this move? Thanks, guys. All right, Shane. 10-team Superflex, Olave, and the 105 or Jamar Chase, Shane.
So this sounds like he is absolute trash all over his team, right? Like there's nothing good here, like literally nothing good, because he named not one player that's on his team. But he does have the 101. So let me just think this through, right? So start 10, right? I'm just going to be drafting, say I make these picks. I'm drafting, what's that guy's name? Marvin Harrison, Jaden Daniels. At 106, I'm taking JJ McCarthy. 109, I'm taking Troy Franklin. I got 425 first. Maybe I use 2 of them to get back into the first round or trade for another wide receiver. Oh, wait, I already got. He doesn't have the 105.
So he's just listening, Shane.
He doesn't have. So he doesn't have the 105, right? So he's getting the 105 and Chase for a lot.
No, he has the 102 through the 106.
Oh, so he would give up the 105. So he'd 101, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fine. I actually would do this. I can make this team compete next year. I'm going to need my rookie quarterbacks to hit, which is not always a great feeling. But if shit goes wrong, I still have Chase, and I can pull the parachute on it.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
I wasn't really listening. I just said sounds good. I was hoping you nailed it.
It was hard for us to listen because Shane, Shane absolutely was lost at some point in there with the picks. But yeah, I get it. It's a shallow league. If you want to get the best player, fine. But I don't know.
The 101, 102, 103, 104. There's so much I can do with that. Then I got the 106, 109, 1010, and then 4 additional 25 firsts. Like, dude, give me Chase. Now, if you want to just hold on to Olave and hope that Olave is going to turn into Chase like I said he would last year, I'm fine with that too. I just think, if you're aggressive, you can make this team compete this year and compete not like in a short-term window, like in an area where it's ascending, in a way that it's ascending. But if you're lazy, no, don't do that because you got to make a bunch of other moves.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to Kodiak here, and then after this one, Shane is going to take off. He's going to go night, right? Okay. Kodiak, this one is starting with you though, Scott. 12 team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium start 11 Cousins and 12 backups at quarterback. He has Cans at running back. Puka, Addison, Flowers, Hollywood, Wicks, Pop Douglas at wide receiver, Michael Mayer, Musgrave at tight end, the 101, and he has in quotations, or parentheses rather, drafting Caleb, the 109, 201, 206, 212. In a start 11, are guys like Douglas and Wicks considered hashtag roster cloggers? What direction should I take this team in? Don't feel comfortable with Cousins as my QB2. And then he finally asked, should I use my 109 on a QB? Scott's got a smirk on his face. What's up?
Well, I got to have Kodiak. Got to give him some props because he's probably got a roster that I would just love. Every backup QB, every backup running back possible, he probably has. Now, I will answer his question directly on team this shitty. Absolutely, guys like Demario Douglas, Dontavian Wicks. I want to say roster cloggers, but they're guys I'm getting rid of. I'm not attached to them. I'll take what I can get. Can I get a third and a fourth for both of them? See ya. I mean, this team lacks assets. I get it. You're going to draft Caleb. Probably going to slow play some of those other pieces. Can I somehow turn the 201 and something into a future first? Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm looking to stack assets here, whatever it takes. Even guys like Addison, Hollywood Brown aren't off the table. Not at all. Like I'd move Addison and Flowers if it's the right deal. There's almost nothing off the table here, and Kirk Cousins is on the table.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a window for him. So I think everything's up for deal here.
Sounds good. Shane, would you like to say goodnight to the crowd? 286 eyeballs who already hit that like because they want to help out the channel. You want to say goodnight?
Yeah, no, I was just I was driving to work today. I was thinking, I just want to say I appreciate everyone for letting us do this every week and giving a shit about anything we talk about when it comes early, or me specifically, obviously Scott and Clay too. But speaking for myself, I really think it's cool, and I appreciate that we get to do this every week or multiple times a week, and then also nonstop in our Patreon. So I appreciate everyone. That's all. Now I'm going to bed. Goodbye.
All right.
So beautiful. I'm starstruck. Bye, Shane.
Yeah.
Later.
See you.
Like in sports, when like a team wins like last second and the commentators are like, all right, here's where we be quiet, for a little while and just listen to the crowd. That's what that moment was for Shane. I was like, just don't say anything, Clay. Just let him own this. Let him have this moment.
You did well. You sent him off with a bang. Good job. Let's rock. This is Friday Hammer stream stuff now. Let's go.
Yeah, I wish I had more in the hopper. We are gonna go with Wu-Tang though. Man, Wu-Tang, I was listening to you today. Thuggish Ruggish Bone. Thank you for the hammer. 12 team Superflex PPR 0.5 tight end premium, so 1.5 for them. Start 11. Bryce Young, Cousins, Stafford at quarterback, Kyron, Chubb, and Cans at running back, Puka, Rice, Debo, and more Cans at wide receiver, and then 3 early seconds. I'm still recovering from this being my first dynasty in 2021 and drafting with a redraft brain. He says he took 3 running backs in the first 3 rounds. Question is, should I offload Young, Puka, a 25 second for 225 firsts and Nico? I have 325 firsts already and maybe looking to reset then or use the assets to push for this year. What do you think, man? So we'll go back to that trade. It's 12 team Superflex, start 11, very small tight end premium. What do you think?
So Puka and a first for Nico, or Puka and a second for Nico Collins and a first. What side are you taking there if you're rebuilding? You comfortable taking the first to second improvement? I'm assuming you're dealing Bryce Young for a 1. You just cross those 2 out. And then you're taking Nico and a first for Puka and a second. Is that enough? And there's no leverage here, right? Basically, you're dealing 2 pieces for 2 picks, and then you're swapping a second and another player.
Given let's see where this team is, because if it's a ways away, then I'm okay with it. Then I'm good with it.
Well, I think it's not in a good place, but it also, if you trade away Bryce Young and Puka, you're almost like, okay, now what do I have? Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford, Debo Samuel. You know what I mean? You need to be willing to offload everything. So I wonder if maybe you can get a different deal done where you're not giving up Bryce Young. Maybe you're giving up one of the other players. Maybe you're giving up Cousins. You're not getting back another first. I don't know. I'd try something like that.
I like
first.
that idea. I like that idea. Cleaning it up. Is Bryce Young the prize here, or is Puka? Kind of split it up.
What about Stafford, Puka stack? Because you get Nico Collins and a first for Stafford and Puka. Maybe you get back a second also, something like that. Like that'd be the kind of deal I would try before I just give up my 2 highest valued assets, most likely.
And then, as always, just try to get a quarterback thrown in, a backup. Okay, do me a favor.
And I guess the last thing for Wu-Tang is he moves Puka, like Kyron's got to go, Chubb's got to go, Debo's got to. I mean, everything's got to go, right? It's a teardown. So
he would have 525 first too. Is the thing. He's already got 3, so those additional 2 are like worth more than a typical first, if you will. Yep. That's kind of a stranglehold, but yeah, hopefully he got enough from us there in terms of direction. Evan, thank you for the hammer. Appreciate it. It is 10-team, 6-team playoffs, Superflex, PPR, no tight end premium, start 9. Arich, Dak, Levis at quarterback. JT, Brian Robinson, Warren at running back. Wilson, Olave, Waddle, Pittman, Pickens, and then Pitts and Ferguson at tight end. 524 first. He has the 105 through 109. How do I spend these picks? Embrace the variance of the shallow format and just build value and injury insurance, or tier up and push for a buy? What do you think here, man?
Well, you're set at tight end. Fine with your tight end room. Your quarterback room, it's a 10 team. So, I mean, you could use an upgrade, but it's not the worst quarterback room. It's competitive. And then you have enough at the other positions to contend. But obviously you're going, okay, how do I get some hammers? And he's about to draft what? 5 more non-hammers, probably. He may get another quarterback here, but he's probably not getting Neighbors or Marv. Bowers is probably there, but do you want to add Bowers to this team, really? In a non-PPR and a non-tight end premium? Probably not.
Only for the asset value, if that's the league economy, you know.
What would you pay to get up to the 103 here to take Neighbors? Would you give up the 105 and the 106 easy, given he has 5 of those picks?
I am. Yeah. No, 100%.
3 of them?
I mean, I'd love to. And then does that person have a 24, a 25 first that I can get on top? What would that look like? It's the 6, 7?
So 5, 6, 7 for 103 and a 25 first to get the player you want. It's hefty, but yeah, I don't hate it. Try it.
It's hefty, but it's worth a shot. I mean, you got to sling some things around in formats like that, right, Scott? Like 10 teams start 9s, don't you? Like you can take more risks.
Yeah, and I think at the 7, that's the breaking point where you're going to the, how do I say this nicely? Shitty managers in the league and being like, hey, you interested in this 107? This is going to be McCarthy or a Dunze, 108, right. 109. Like you're trying to get their 25 first. And it's the consolidation reroll, right? Like I'm betting that Clay's going to abandon his team this year and not be active, and he's going to have the 104. And I just got the 104 for the 108. And I don't even want to make the 108 anyway. So that's a savvy thing. You gotta scout the manager though.
For sure. So 3 hammers from KC. Thank you very much. 14 team Superflex start 9 plus 9 IDP starters as well. Tiered PPR, it's 1.5 for tight end. 6 point per passing touchdown with high scoring and tons of bonuses, making QBs super valuable, plus the scarcity in a 14. So he's got Mahomes, Kyler, and Young. It's a pretty solid QB room. Gibbs, JT, Jacobs, Charbonnet, Zamir, and Cans. Chase, AJ Brown, Keenan, Cans, McBride, Pitts, Juwan Johnson. And then doesn't really have anything. Well, I guess he's got the 312, 412 because he got IDP in there. All 25 and 6 picks. Win now mode, traded picks and depth midseason to upgrade the lineup. Was the number 1 seed, but lost in the semis. See any moves? I know I could use wide receiver help, but I can also start Pitts or McBride at flex. Thanks. All right, 14 teams start 9. Here you go, Scott.
Yeah, in a 14-teamer, even with this premium, I actually don't hate having the Pitts-McBride combo there because you're hoarding one from multiple other teams that are basically desperate for tight ends probably. So they're starting guys like Juwan Johnson or, maybe a Cade Otton or Hunter Henry or someone like that. So I don't mind having one of those guys as a flex because I think both of them are high enough to where you can flex them. I mean, he's got a good team. You got a team with Mahomes, Kyler, Pitts, Trey McBride, Jahmyr Gibbs. His receivers aren't awesome outside of Chase and AJ Brown, but I mean, it's a start 9, 14-teamer. Like, doesn't it feel like this team even with the lack of draft capital, like it's competitive. It's just not, he's 2 injuries away from being like, man, what am I doing? But you put those, you have 7 studs basically. Mahomes, Kyler, Gibbs, Chase, AJ Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs. If you count, let's hedge our bets on JT and the tight ends. You know what I mean? But like your lineup's awesome for a start 10 or a start 9 14-teamer. It's just if things go wrong, what do you do? And you probably can't get much for. Could you get a first for Keenan Allen if you added one of your seconds? You think?
Not right now.
Yeah, not right now. right now.
And then you'll want him when you, if you can later, that's when you're wanting him too, because he's scoring a lot of points for you. But what's nice here is that in this format, and if a couple injuries happen, hopefully they aren't at quarterback, but you've got some valuable QBs where apparently you said it's super nuke scoring. So having Mahomes and Kyler Young, you kind of always have those assets to split if shit hits the fan. So, all right, good stuff. And we're assuming you're just a stud with all your IDP positions, and that you're really going to work that IDP waiver wire and stuff, right?
I mean, the funny thing is that probably we didn't even talk about the IDP, but that brings in 9 more pieces of variance that could sway a matchup. You know what I mean? So it almost makes me value the guys that I know are hammers even more. But it is interesting with IDP. We never even go in depth with it, but I mean, it's literally adding a ton of variance to a weekly matchup.
Yeah. So Scott, apparently, well, let me see here. Let me see if I have another one in the hopper. No, that's it. Scott informed me. I saw two messages in the private chat. I was like, oh, what's this going to be? Like, it's a little worrisome when Scott hits me up in the private chat. He and Ray did a huge trade. So let's hear it.
Well, no, Ray and I did each separate trades, and the reason why I want to share this is because I think it's unique. It's something that we've talked about in the Discord a little bit. So I'm actually, if you want to set it up to where I
share
can
your
share my
screen?
screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen so everybody can see this. But these are, so this is a very expensive, let's get that overlay off here.
I'm getting it off.
Let's get the old Dynasty Stock Exchange. There we go. Since these are trades we're going to talk about. So this is you are in the Destination Chill $500 lineup league, right? So there's a best ball version that Ray and I are also in. It's the same exact setup. It's literally the same setup, 12 team, start 12, same buy-in and everything. But this one is a best ball. So this is a league where Ray, myself, and another person, and probably 3 or 4 others, but they didn't go as hard as we did. We all went all in the startup. I mean, like as all in as you can get. So I'm going to share my screen here.
Go for it.
And Ray won the league. So you do the math on a $500 league.
Ooh,
good
nice.
pot. Yeah, good pot. I didn't win the league. So unfortunately, I'm not in as good a shape as he is. But here's the trade. This is Ray's trade. So Ray won it. His team was drawing dead. Now there was a team, and this is probably very hard for everybody to see. So
I
can make it bigger.
There you go. Keep going.
Hold on. This is terrible podcasting, but I'll get to it. There we go.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
Oh my God. Look at the size of that.
Yes. So this is a trade, and I'll read it off for everybody just because it's probably going to be not perfect to see on the screen. But Ray won the league, but there's a guy in a startup, okay? 4 rounds, 12 teams, right? He had 71 draft picks in 2024 and 2025 leaving the startup. So you can just envision how many times he traded back. He had, I believe, 19 of the firsts, and then seconds, thirds, and fourth out the wazoo. So Ray won. And then Ray's looking at his roster going, let's see, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey. So Ray gave up Matt Stafford, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Derrick Henry, Demarcus Robinson, random, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, Josh Allen, and Jalen Moore. And he got back, and I'm going to check these on my app because I can sleeper absolutely.
This is a roster swap. Does this happen a lot more in best ball when it's this many pieces?
No, I've never seen a trade like this. Never seen a trade like this. So Ray got back I'm going to say him, and I'm not even going to say him in order because they're not in order, but he got back Justin Fields, the 102, the 106, the 109, the 108, and then he got 207, 307, 206, 306, 303, 312, 211, 110, 310, 205, 305, and 308. A 17 for 10.
That's bonkers. Yeah, I mean,
this guy's team is ridiculous in best ball, right?
Now it is. Yeah.
So I built my team like Ray. Didn't win last year. So guess who goes to this guy and goes, hey, can we make a deal?
Yeah.
I make this baby
all
today.
These assets. Oh my God.
I make a 22 for 12 deal with him. And I give him Matt Stafford, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill, or no, that's the other one. I give him what's on the screen. Rodgers, Hopkins, Adams, Lockett, Henry, Mixon, Chubb, Schultz, and there's 3 more pieces. Let me find them in here. DK Metcalf, Marquise Brown, Travis Etienne, and Isaiah Likely. So he gets a nice 12 from me, and I get back 22 pieces. I mean, a lot of roster cloggers, as you can see at the top.
Sure.
But
in
bunch
best
of picks,
ball, you need them, right?
Correct.
You
correct.
need bodies.
111, 112. I got my 25 first back, which it's got to be high, right? Because, I mean, my team just absolutely got gutted. And then a bunch of thirds, a bunch of seconds, a bunch of fourths. But this dude literally, and I'm just sharing this so we can stop sharing my screen because it's ugly. But this guy, I got to give him a shout out. He had 71 draft picks out of the startup. He turned it into a team right now in a best ball, 32-man rosters, where like Tyler Lockett's his 30th player.
Wow.
You know, like Hunter Henry is somebody he has to cut because he has so many assets. And he still has 4 25 first. He has raised 25 first. And you saw what Ray gave up.
Yeah, what he just did.
He's on probably the 101 next year. And I wanted to share this with everybody because these 2 trades is Ray made his. Then I had to make mine because guess who's absolutely screwed right now? The rest of the league. There is no market. This guy doesn't need the trade.
It's been set on both sides.
Ray, myself, and this team now have 90% of the draft picks. And Ray and I are not moving our picks really because we have nothing else. You know, we're not interested in any of the other 5 or 6 sellers that would want to offload stuff. So I almost felt like I had to make the deal. Even if I lost piece by piece, like I had to just get rid of Hopkins, Adams, ETN, you know, like I just had to get rid of them and start over. But that's where you get humbled in a $500 league. So Ray and I have quite the work ahead of us to rebuild that. And that guy's probably going to cash 2 seasons, my guess would be, since he has those picks next year. So kudos to him. It's heads up on Sleeper. He plays in a lot of leagues, but great job in working those 2 deals. And, you know, at least Ray won the league. At least he's playing for free for 6 more years. Yes. I'm the one eating it.
Yeah. So this was from 32 beat writers. Excuse me. I submitted a hammer yesterday. I don't think you've done mine yet. Yeah, we've got a ton that were submitted, and so basically I had 28 or 30 of them set up, lined up for this show, and we've been trying to hit as we go. So we're gonna have them preloaded for the next one. Scott and I are gonna do a hammer stream Thursday or Friday at 3, which Shane might join apparently, but Friday 3 p.m. Another hammer stream. It
breeze a crowd when we're doing those hammer streams. We're so much more efficient with the 2 of us when we're trying to knock as many out.
Shane needs to rest his colon too. Okay, let's just hit one from the crowd here, and then maybe I can load in one more hammer. We can call it a night soon here, Scott. Evan Orr had a 10-team 1 QB PPR 2.0 tight end premium start 12. Would you rather have Chase and the 304 or AJB and Hawkinson?
Man, I don't really want Hawkinson, but don't you feel like you can get a first for him probably in a 2 PPR? It's 1 QB. I mean, the first is a little riskier, but I'm okay with the AJ Brown and Hawkinson side. Start 12. I mean, the 304 here is
2.0.
Yeah, the 304 here is 24th player in a 1 QB. Probably not moving the needle much. I'm okay with it. But you know what? This is actually a creative way to get off of TJ Hawkinson, right? And you think you're giving them the better deal, and you know, I can see 6 months in, you like this deal because you're like, I'd rather have Chase over AJ Brown. Don't you think Chase has a little longer leash to kind of fail before AJ Brown does? AJ Brown's a lot more volatile because he's 3 years older, etc. So yeah, I'm okay doing this on both sides. Actually, if you need assets, picked up a decent tight end, you may have to wait a year for, but I can also see where you want to get off of Hawkinson and use him in this creative way. So well done, Evan.
Yeah. What's that sound over there? Your cat's messing with you?
No cats right now. Why? Was it sound like a cat?
No, it sounds like something's like you're knocking into the mic or something like that.
I have a can.
You have a can?
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a can. A real can, not a running back can.
Oh, just real quick. AJ Brown or the 106?
Probably AJ
let's
Brown. AJ Brown. Yeah.
Okay.
We had a discussion earlier. Like, would you take Malik Neighbors over AJ Brown?
I think I would, but
Close. But that's 104. That's 103, 104. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get 105,
Yeah.
106. It's risky, and like Shane said earlier, I think by the time we get closer, I don't know if you're going to want to do that deal. So I'm okay taking the Brown side there.
This was starred earlier from Shane. Gavin Ferguson, QG is not dead. You're dead. He's probably dead. And then let's just hit this one that started from Parker K. Traded Gibbs for Achane 107 25 second. Excited for Achane upside. Is that good? Is that good enough for you, Gibbs? You get Achane the 107.
Yeah.
I think that's great, right? And that
we don't know the format. If it's a 1 QB shallow, then no. But if it's a 12-team super, like one of our typical leagues, Superflex Start 11, yeah, give me the 107. 107 in a second, I can probably move up to the 105.
That's
now
you're
sitting
kind
on
of a dream
an option.
trade. Yeah, unless it's ultra shallow. That's kind of it's an awesome trade. Okay, let's see here. Do we have any inbox? That's all I got, man. I thought I was like, yeah, let's go to like 11, but hitting hitting a little bit of a wall. Let's see here. So we can go, but I can pull up a couple more from the Hammer screen. What do you want to do, Scott?
I mean, we said 10:30. Let's go 7 more minutes.
What is it? 10:23? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do that. So pull up one from the Tyler Skinner says, just here for the weekly reminder, hit the like button for the guys. Love y'all. Keep up the amazing work. We appreciate you three. We appreciate you as well. Thank you very much. Royce has won 12-team PPR Superflex, 1.5 for tight end, 6 point per passing touchdown. It's a start 10 that's got 8 of them are flex spots. Traded Fields, McBride, Gibbs, and the 211. Got Rashee Rice, the 103, 104, and 224 thirds. Competing team, but thought the value was too good to pass up. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you gave up Fields in a 6 point, so I'm okay with that. You gave up McBride in a league where you do not have to start a tight end. So there you go. There's another piece where you threw in and you kind of hid the value in there. You did give up Gibbs, but I'd be fine giving up Gibbs if you got back the 103. You also got back the 104. Yeah, I'm fine with this deal. Rashee Rice is a starter in this format. 103, 104. Yep, I'm good with it. The flexibility you have now of, let's see what you can do with that 103 and 104. And you'll like it a lot more because you got off some. Wouldn't you want to capitalize on a guy like McBride in a league where you don't need to start a tight end, even if it's half point tight end premium? Like he feels like he's basically like Rashee Rice, right? Because they're just points for points. That's it, and it's 1.5. So it's like not like he's going to put up 20 a game. He's probably putting up 15, 16 a game, and Rashee Rice is probably a little below that, but like effectively they're the same thing. So that's a good deal to hide him in that deal and get rid of him in a league where you literally don't need one.
Yes. No, good call there. Good call. Okay. Let's pull this up. I'm going to read this, and while you're answering, I'm going to make a banner and then we'll hit that. DFS Freak says, did I get enough for Burrow here? 14 team Superflex, start 10, tiered PPR. I sent Burrow and Addison. I got the 103, 111, and Pittman. I have Arich and Stroud left still. What do you think?
Yeah, because I think you're basically sending Burrow for Jaden Daniels and the 111. And Pittman's probably a slight upgrade over Addison. It's a fair deal, but then you add into the context that you already have Richardson and Stroud. It makes that 103 more flexible. Hell, it's a 14-teamer. Marv may fall to you. Because people want QBs at 1 and 2. I mean, I don't know what the teams at 1 and 2 have, but if you're looking at them going, they may take a QB.
Good.
And it's like, do I think I'd rather have Burrow over Marv in a vacuum in a 14-teamer? Probably. But if you have those 3 QBs, isn't the dream to move one of them for another elite skill player? Like, that's the only thing you would consider. And he might have been able to pull it off. So I'm okay with it. Plus, you added the extra first in a 14-team start 10. That 111 is probably close to another starter. So, yeah, I'm okay with the deal. I think it's one of those where trade calculator might have said, man, Burrow in a 14-teamer, you didn't get enough. But context-wise, are you getting a better offer? If you don't get this offer and you sit on it, then you go, I want more. And then an offer like this never comes again. You're like, man, Now I'm desperately trying to trade a QB, so I'm okay with it.
All right, cool. So I am going to put these up here. All right. 10 team. This was 2 hammers from Loves to Splooge. 10 team Superflex PPR 1.5 for tight end start 10. Arich, Watson, Bryce, Levis at quarterback. Gibbs, Achane, Walker, and Poop at running back. Pittman, JSN, Christian Watson, Ridley, Hollywood, Pop, Poop. Kittle, Kincaid, Chig. Has the 101, 104, 106, all picks but my first in 25. Said, based on other teams' needs and mine, it looks like my picks will be Marv at 1, Neighbors at 4, and then a Dunze, Bowers, or a QB3 at 6. And then he says here, I won't worry. I can make the banner real quick. He says, hoping that at the end of my Scorch Earth rebuild, this team will be a real competitor. What other strategy I should take to get there ASAP? Thanks, fellas. Love the content. Who day?
Yeah, I mean, shout out for the who day at the end. Appreciate you. Oh, man, this is the first question we've ever had where they've popped a poop.
They popped a poop. There's a lot of poop.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. He mentioned his picks. I mean, do you really want Brock Bowers on this team when you already have Kittle and Kincaid?
No.
You know, are you trying to move one of those picks, the 104, 106? He says Neighbors at 4. He knows his league better than us. Again, I don't know how many times we've mentioned that tonight. I don't know if it's a lock he gets there. I'm also not excited to add a quarterback here necessarily. You know, I want a better quarterback, but I already have enough quarterbacks. So if you're stuck with, you know, worst case scenario, it goes, you get a QB at 104 and you get a QB at 106. And now you're like, man, what do I do now? Because now you've taken those premium picks and you've turned it into, you know, something that you may not want anymore. So you got the 101, you're taking Marv. I'd be trying to move up just to steer myself to 9 QB. Yeah. Forget about the 106. Can I move 104 and 106 for the 103 and a 25 first? I'd do something like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I think so. 104 and 106 for 103 and a 25 first.
Or 102.
I guess I wouldn't auto. It would have to be 102, I think.
But wouldn't the plan be to take a receiver there at 102?
Yes.
So wouldn't you have to look at the 102 to see if he's going to go QB or not? Like, that's one of those where I engage the 102. And I actually put out an episode, or it's going to be coming out this week on Dynasty Portfolio Weekly, talking about psychology like this. In this situation, I'm going to the team with the 102. I'm just going to talk to them. I can see their team. I know what they probably need, depending on what other picks they have. If all they have is the 102 and nothing else, and their best QBs like Derek Carr, I'm pretty confident just saying, go ahead and pick a receiver. I dare you. You know what I mean? But if it's a team where you're like, okay, it's a 10-teamer, they might have a couple QBs, maybe they shock me and don't take one, engage in a conversation. Like, see if you can elicit that information from them before you make that offer. But I absolutely would do the 104, 106 for the 102 or the 103 and a 25 first, especially if it's a suspect manager. I just don't value the 106 that much here, given that he already has those tight ends.
That's a good point. Okay, let's see. I don't have any. I can get one more in the background. Here, let me just. I ran the Chili Willy thing. Let's see who won it. I've got it in the background here. Looks like Matthew Curran. So MATTHEWCURRAN. You won the orphan in the Chili Willy Nut Dust League. if you want it. So email clay@dynastytradesin5.com and we'll try to get you set up if you would like to join that. It's a fun league, and I'm not commissioning, so the commish is good. Ray put up here, key point about that particular league as well, Scott. There's not a lot of league activity. Important when evaluating whether or not you have to make a deal or not. Yeah, that's a good point. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, I wanted to put this up there just because it's a point that a lot of people don't consider. I mean, if you have to go through and kind of rate the activity level in your leagues, like we talk about it in passing a lot of times, but
Yeah.
If you would rate the activity level in your league at a 2 or 3, that's probably not the league where you're betting on, okay, I'm going to kick all my picks to the season and just use them to buy pieces. Because sometimes, I mean, I've been in leagues like that, and you send out offers on like Wednesday morning to try to buy spot starters, or Thursday morning, Friday morning.
Nope,
no
not
response.
happening.
Well, just no response. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Then the person doesn't end up putting them in their lineup. They set their lineup and they don't respond to the trade. And you're like, dude, and it's just an inactive league like that can really change how you're going to approach strategy. And to Ray's point, we made those deals because we're probably guessing. Guess what Ray and I are going to do in that league this year? Sit there. Nothing. There's not much, unless we can sell some of the pieces we have left. There's not much to do. We've made our deal. We've made our bed. We're lying in it for the rest of the year. So thanks for chiming in, buddy.
Those trades were bonkers. Here's this was a hammer from, I believe this is Bro Beans. Thank you, Bro Beans. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. Appreciate it. It is a 10-team Superflex half PPR, no tight end premium start 9. Arich, Goff, AOC at quarterback. Bijan, Bryce, Kendre, Roshan. CD, ARSB, Puka, Olave, Pickens, Wicks. McBride, Otten, Fant. 101, 3, 4, 26 first, 26 second. He says, how should I draft with the 24 first? Should I be trying to move them? He's got 2 offers on the table. So the first one is give Arich and the 101, get Josh Allen and the 106. And the second one is give Goff and the 104, get Kyler and the 107.
Yes, I'm okay doing that deal. The Kyler and the 107. Now you're giving up. Yeah, because I have the
stack or whatever.
Well,
but
here's the thing, though. I have the 101 and the 103, so I'm getting the players I want before that 104 hits, which means I'm okay moving it for an upgrade at QB. I now have Arich and Kyler, which in a 10 team, I'd prefer that to what I have, and I'm still able to get the 2 non-quarterbacks. So, yeah, this is, I mean, talk about a sick roster, Clay. Bijan, Bryce, CD, ARSB, Puka, Olave, Pickens, Marv, and Neighbors, and McBride. I mean, yeah.
101, 103, 4. It's a stack team. And he says, if taking the trades, how's draft strategy change? Love hearing you guys discuss and educate. Thanks for the content. Thank you. So, yeah.
I think it's Marv, Neighbors, or Caleb. You're getting 2 of the 3. You know what I mean? Let them have the 104 through the 107. You still have the 107. Can I add to the 107 and get something else? Can I move the 107 for some another running back? And can I move 107 for something else like a third QB and a future first? Or you know what I mean? Or
yeah.
Would you take a third QB here since he doesn't have one? Would you take like a McCarthy at 107? I hate doing that in a 10-teamer. It feels like I just go with the skill player because I can always trade for a cheap QB.
Yeah.
But maybe you make the 107. You just kind of hedge and you just take, whoever you think the best player available is there. But you're in a good spot.
This is a strong team. Yeah, it's definitely a strong team. Okay.
100%.
Good stuff. So, all right, man. It is 10:35. That is the last banner I had. Yeah, great stream. We still have 273 eyeballs in here. Thanks for joining. Did some musical chairs with the guests tonight, but Scott and I will be back 3 p.m. Eastern this Friday for another Hammer stream. So, yeah, we'll catch you then. You want to say bye to the crowd, Mr. Can?
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to say, if you don't get your hammers in on Fridays, I mean, just keep them coming. Keep sending them in. buymeacoffee.com/trades in5. Get your hammers in there. I will announce because, it'll come out tomorrow, but stay tuned for more Destination Chill. There's going to be a little more Destination Chill coming than there was before. So tune in tomorrow night, 9:00 Eastern on Destination Devi YouTube channel. Myself and Ray will be doing Destination Chill. So we'll be talking through some tight ends. Tight ends have been the dominant conversation in the voice chat the last couple of days over in the Discord. So if you're interested in that, we've kind of gone through tight ends, wondering if Trinity matters for tight ends. We'll see. But tight ends, it took a shift in 2022 to 2023. So kind of diving through the tight end landscape a little more of a fine tooth comb now. So if you're interested, join over on the Discord. But just want to throw that out there. That's it.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, just a reminder on the buy me a hammer. So we had them loaded up from today. We've got already enough for Friday. So if you get your hammers in throughout the week, you're either going to be on Tuesday prime time like this. Somebody else said prime time, Tuesday or Friday, or every once in a while, if we need to, we might have a pop-up stream. But yeah, we're gonna do our best. We're figuring this out as well. So let us know if you have any thoughts on that. But appreciate the donations. They're awesome. buymeacoffee.com/trades in5. And there's a form that people are even filling out with their trades too, which I really appreciate. So look at the top of the screen. There's a Google form to fill out, which I'll make better. All right. That's all I got. Gonna end the stream. Thanks, everyone.